Okay, so we are still continuing on C, which is this way. Oh, I didn't trip. Wow. You can see the color a little bit better in this video, this clip here. But it still doesn't quite pop like it does in real life.
You can just hear the power of the water too.
Yeah. Just an addendum to the end of the video. The boats don't start till 8:30 in the morning. We got there around 8 o'clock. So we had to wait about a half hour for the boat to get here. But there is restrooms and food, and she got a hot chocolate. So, but just be aware. Take your time on that first leg because you can't go anywhere till 8:30 anyway. So this is P2. We just took the ferry ride from P3 to P2. And the rest of it will be hiking until we take the bus ride back to the P1, or the P, well, I guess it's the first entrance 1, but it would be back to P3.
We're going with C.
So we're still following C. Wow. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but that water has got to be 30 feet deep. It's pretty deep. Oh, I wish the coloring came through on the video as well as you see it in person. Oh, wow.
Incredible.
Got a picture here? That one almost could be wall worthy.
Yeah, I think so. See on the wall, there's got to be a waterfall.
Oh, okay.
I think.
So it looks like we're about halfway up the waterfalls, as you can see here. So there's a couple of big ones coming up later. It's got real quiet here. It's
so amazing. You can't even put words to it. I just keep saying, wow.
Nothing more to say. Oh man, the blue. You just can't, it just doesn't come through on the video very well. I'm gonna keep saying that too. The colors you see on Instagram are probably way closer to reality than the video is going to be able to really show you, because it is just this turquoisey blue green.
Like basically as turquoise as my fingers.
I mean, and you can see the bottom of the water almost all the way out. It seems like you can see quite deep. You see trees and logs in the water almost halfway out. It's like, if that's the deep, if halfway out is about the deepest part, you can see through all the way to the bottom everywhere, and it's deep. It's not shallow water everywhere. It does get quite deep.
I hear a waterfall.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
Sounds like a big one.
Oh yeah, I can see it through the trees. Look at that. Right through there. Let's get a closer look. The only thing I can say negative about the park is the trail's just a little narrow, and if there was a crowd here, this could get kind of miserable because you would get stuck behind a lot of people, and you're at the will of everybody else about how fast you can go through, what parts you want to stop at, because it's really only 2 people wide here.
But they probably did that to conserve the
Yes.
park.
Yes, I understand why it's probably like that, but that's really the only negative I've seen so far. Is it's basically 2 wide paths everywhere we've been so far. It doesn't really get any wider than that anywhere else. So just be aware. I think if you're going mid-June through the summer in July and most of August, I'm guessing it gets really busy and you're gonna have some crowds. Now, like I said before in the first video, when you enter, you do have a time on your ticket when you can enter. So they do stagger the entrances so that it's not everybody at one time. But I don't know how in control that is, because I'm not here in the middle of the summer. I am here at the middle of May. So I think middle of May is probably a really good time. Maybe end of May, early June could be really good too. Ooh, some big fishies.
Whoa, those are huge.
Let's see if I can get those on the video. I don't know if you... Yeah, they're right there. I think those are carp.
Wow, they're big.
Each about 18 inches long. So, I guess the water is probably best earlier in the season you come, because it's dependent on the snowfall for how much water you get. And they said this year was not a good year for snowfall, so the water is a little bit lower than it normally would be. But it's probably just going to get worse as the summer goes along. So the earlier in the spring, probably as long as the snow's melting, the better it's going to be, water-wise. Doesn't seem to be showing too many signs, though, that the water is low, but from what our Airbnb host said, it is low this year compared to most. Following seat. So for that last big waterfall, there's a path that goes up the mountainside, and there's a path that goes down by the bottom and actually crosses the water in front of that waterfall. And unfortunately, the one that's below and crosses right in front of the waterfall, where you can get a picture right in front, is under construction, so we couldn't go there. We had to go up and above only, so we couldn't get that nice shot. I don't know when that'll open, but there's been a few places along the way that have been closed for maintenance. That one, the other two places I think we saw didn't really worry us that much, but that one would have been really nice to see right in front of those falls that were 100 something feet high, 30 something meters. So that sucks, but that's a reason to come back, I guess, right? Or do you not need another reason to come back?
Oh, I already have 12,000 reasons.
So, just be aware. Maybe some things you need to come back for, I guess. This part of the trail is getting kind of rocky, also, I'm noticing, and not as smooth of terrain. But not so bad. It's just, the whole trail is just kind of like a slow, steady uphill, but not too terrible. So this portion of the trail, since we've gotten the P2, it's gotten a little hillier and rockier. So, a little more strenuous. Wow, look at that view. Now see, there's not a lot of water coming off of that. Right there. But I bet if there was more water this year, that would just be a rainfall. Just a trickle right now. Here, step over there. There you go. So, yeah, it's gotten a lot rockier coming up this hillside now. So, oh jeez. Yeah.
It's just like views and views and views. The camera's gonna run out of storage.
So the first part was definitely a nice, easy slope up with some downs and ups, but generally uphill. This part of the trail has gotten a little rockier like this and steeper. Oh my god. This is not fair. Everybody else in the world. Nobody should have this all to themselves. Look at this. I mean, I can see clear out into the middle. Sorry, I had to stop because the picture taking views are just...
It's like you don't want to leave. It's just so beautiful.
Every time the trees break here, just another great view.
Wow.
And they used to let people swim in this thing. Can you imagine?
I would never get out.
I can't imagine they... I'm glad they don't. It would be cool to be able to, but I'm glad they don't. So back on the trail. Just beside some more waterfalls down here. You can kind of see through the trees. Wow. Up the hillside. If you do anything in Croatia,
It has to be this.
this is it. I can't imagine a beach would be any better than this. This is just stupid. Unbelievable. I'm running out of adjectives. This is where you need a real professional camera. You can get some amazing pictures.
Oh, our parents need to go here.
Yeah. So it looks like we're about 3/4 of the way now. So this was the last tall one we saw. We've got a few more smaller ones and another pretty decent sized one till the end. So we will continue up the trail. The other thing we were told by our Airbnb host was to really do this park right and see everything that it has. It takes 2 or 3 full days. So we are only here for 6 hours. So
Which we know is not enough.
which we know is not enough. We knew that coming in. You know, we're going to see what you need to see, but we're not going to see everything.
The purpose of this trip was more see a lot of different places and then see which places really spoke to us so that we could come back later.
Yeah, which ones do we need to come back to? So, he said 2 or 3 days. He said also he compares it a little bit to Yellowstone. Not in size, it's not as big as Yellowstone, but there's, you know, this is what you see when you come to this park, but it also has large areas of hiking and other lakes and other things to do all around the region. It's a whole region. It's really not just this park. So if you're coming and you're just doing this park, you're not getting the full experience. There's still a lot more to do. So if you really want to hit this park hard, he said make sure you have at least 2 days, sometimes 3. So I guess it would just depend on your pace. We're pretty fast, so we know we can get a good experience in a shorter amount of time than most. But if you're slower or you like to take your time more, you know, today might take you a full day, because he said if you walk the whole thing, it's like an 8-hour trip to walk the whole thing, at least if you're fast.
And I mean, for us, we're walking, we're stopping for, 10, 15 seconds, taking all the views in and taking a picture, but you could sit at each view for half an hour if you wanted to. I mean,
yes. So if you're gonna see this whole park and do it pretty well, I think you need 5-6 hours. If you want to do it at your own pace, you're looking at a full day, 8-10 hours, something like that. Okay, so we are still continuing on C, which is this way. Oh, I didn't trip. Wow. You can see the color a little bit better in this video, this clip here. But it still doesn't quite pop like it does in real life.
you can just hear the power of the water too.
Yeah. We're just giving you a good taste of what it is to be here. Hopefully enough that you'll want to come. And I've had a lot of people ask me so far, like, what is it in Croatia? What's it like? How are the people? Do you have language barrier issues? Anything like that? None. Okay? I can't stress that enough. There's zero language issues. Everybody that we have run into speaks very good English.
And super friendly.
And
goes out of their way to talk to you and meet you.
And that's the other thing, is the people here. I think we've been in contact with every Airbnb host who's wanted to meet us and tell us about what we need to do and walk us through everything and give us all the secrets and details they can. Overly friendly, overly nice. The people have been amazing. No language issues. I think the only language issue is, even with the translator, I can't say the words.
Like we try, in other languages, we try at least to say, hello and thank you and things like that, but
Croatian is
very hard,
very difficult. So that's my problem. That's not their problem.
Havla is all I got.
Havla, thank you.
Thank you. All right, go. Dobar den.
Dobar den, good day. Good day. That's what everybody says instead of hello. They say Dobar den.
Those are about the only two I have.
I got de or da. Da is yes, and ne is no. That's all I really know. But we haven't really needed to use it because everybody speaks English. So try to get the pleasantries just to be nice and say havla
or dobar den
when you can, and dobar den when they say it to you. But other than that, you should have no hesitations about coming to Croatia. And this is just the beginning. We haven't even gotten to the coast, which is full of some of the best beaches in the Adriatic. So buckle up, people. These next few handful of videos are going to be pretty awesome.
Pollen.
Yeah, see the water here. We've been seeing it in small bits. This white stuff on the water, but this is really thick here. I believe it's almost all pollen. But we've seen it in other parts of the water, just not as thick as this.
I think it's just because there's no movement of
Yeah.
the water here, so it kind of just all accumulates.
Water in a lot of places is very stagnant. So it's clean, believe me. I'm not worried about its cleanliness. This is just natural pollen on the water.
Which I believe I am feeling the effects from. Woke up this morning a little snuffly, but it's getting better as the day goes on. Took a Zyrtec this morning for allergies and feeling much better. So, you know, you get to a new place, there's new allergens and new things that you could be sensitive to. So always pack the essentials, allergy pills.
Talking like a true nurse.
Yes. I have a little travel pack it's a container, and there's probably 10 different little pockets in it. It's the size of I would say deck of cards, maybe even smaller, and you can pack all the essential pills that you need, like allergy pills, Zyrtec, you got your Advil, you got your Tylenol, melatonin if you have trouble sleeping, Benadryl if you have any allergic reactions, Tums for acid reflux. So I'm pretty prepared. I even have Imodium, which is for diarrhea in case you get into some parts of the world where you drink some water you're not supposed to, but here you're fine. But like if you went to Mexico or something, you would want to have Imodium. And I think that's pretty much it.
This area here is a real nice change of pace a little bit. Getting into some deep, thick woods. This is not something I was necessarily expecting. Very cool.
Look at the size of that tree.
Yeah. Wow.
Really healthy.
They do a very good job with this park. And the fact that there's almost nobody here makes it even better. We've probably seen a total of 30 people since we've been here, excluding workers. It's not a lot of people right now, so I don't know if it's a time of the year thing or if we just got in so early. We are about an hour and a half to 2 hours from Zagreb, and I think about 2.5 hours or so from the coast, and there really isn't a lot in between. So people who are staying in Croatia and maybe they come here first thing in the morning, or if they're on a tour, you know, they're not going to get here at 7 o'clock in the morning. They might not get here till
10,
11 o'clock or noon, because it's going to take 2.5 hours for them to get here. So that could be it also, where people, because I think there are day trips from Split and Zagreb, or you can just get on a bus tour and they just drive you out here. I'm sure they don't leave any sooner than maybe 8 o'clock in the morning. And if it takes you 2 hours, you're not going to get here till 10 at the earliest. So that could also be it, where the droves of tourists don't get here until now, because the only other way to get here is really by car. Because, I mean, there's buses, but they don't have a bus system that's meant to come directly here unless you're doing it by tour. The buses will get you into the towns, but the public transportation will not get you into the park. So you'd be up for a long walk. So keep that in mind. I would just rent a car if you can. That's the best way to do it. We came from Zagreb, so it took us about hour and 45 minutes. There's a little bit of traffic from Zagreb to our Airbnb, and there are plenty of Airbnbs, and they are very affordable. So we were about 10 minutes from the entrance. So our Airbnb was about $61 US That'd be 55 euro or so. And that was a 2-bedroom. We had a double bed and 2 single beds, a full kitchen, living room, everything. There are smaller places too, small cabins and such too. So our recommendation, rent a car, get yourself an Airbnb within 10 minutes of the entrance, get here at 7 a.m. and you'll have a blast.
And if you're renting a car, at least one of your people should know how to drive a stick, or you're going to be paying a lot more for your car.
Yeah, I think most people kind of know. They just drive manuals around here. There aren't many automatics. Luckily, Rebecca had a manual for quite a few years, so she's very comfortable on them. I can make them go. I cannot drive them. So she will be doing all the driving. But we got a really nice car, a really nice Jeep. And I think we got a pretty good price.
We paid for like a basic economy, a little bit bigger than a compact car, but a small car. And we got there and they're like, all right, here's your Jeep Compass. And it was almost brand new.
Which
too.
I think in the United States is just a very normal sized vehicle. But here, this is a pretty big vehicle, especially if you're going to be in the cities. And I think this is it, right? I think we are here. This looks like the top.
That's crazy.
Wow. You said what?
I feel like we could walk back. We're here so early. I think it's 9:41.
If you want to walk back, we can.
Can we look at the map?
Yeah. Well, if this is the top, then this might be the end of the video. Wow. Yeah, I think this is where we are. Station 3. So we either take the ride back, or we hike this, and then boat across, hike over here, and right back.
So we could take a vehicle from all the way to here, and then we'd have to hike from here to the parking lot.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna end up doing.
We're gonna hike?
Oh, ride. So the first ride started at 9.
9:40.
I'm guessing if they're like the boats, they run every half hour.
Where do we get it?
Right here, I think. So that's probably gonna end part 2. I don't know if there'll be a part 3. We'll see what else we see on the way back. But if not, hope you enjoyed the video. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and send us comments and questions if you have any comments and questions. about what you just saw. We can give you as much information as we can. All I can tell you is you need to come. You need to see this. Until then, see ya.